What's up guys? In this video I'm doing an unboxing and review of the Darwin FPV Baby Ape Pro. If you're looking for an affordable FPV drone, this one comes in at only $90. So let's open this up and see what we got. All right, set of propellers. Looks like some a battery strap, and zip ties. And here's the drone. This is a good sized little drone. The frame actually looks pretty thick. We have some nice LEDs on here and a little lens cap on the camera. So this is the Baby Ape Pro. There is just a Baby Ape, and the main difference between the two is the camera. So this one has a Caddx Ant, and this camera is a little bit better than the other camera that comes on the other one. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's all the same components. Before we go any further with what's on the drone, we also have a little business card kind of thing from Darwin FPV, and ESC and flight controller specifications. So the flight controller ESC board that we have on this is a 25 by 25, so just a standard toothpick flight controller, and this has a 15 amp output ESC. The connection for the flight controller is right down here, and that's how you would connect it to Betaflight. Right above the flight controller we have the VTX. This is a 25 milliwatt to 200 milliwatt VTX, so I'll probably just keep this on 200. And then between the motor and the ESC, there's also LEDs. So that could look cool. These motors are no-name motors. These are 1104 4300 kV 2 to 3S brushless motors. And the props that come with it are Gemfan 3-blade 1.5 millimeter props. So yeah, pretty straightforward little drone. Again, the only difference between the Baby Ape Pro, which is this one, and the Baby Ape is the camera. And this is a Caddx Ant, so this is a 1200 TVL camera, whereas if you went with the Baby Ape, you'd have a 700 TVL camera, so you'd have a little bit less resolution, whereas this one has a little bit higher resolution. Here's a quick little side-by-side with my Tiny Hawk Freestyle. It's a little bit bigger. I'm assuming that this one will be a little bit faster just because this can handle 3S and this one handles 2S. The only additional part that you're going to need to get for this drone is a receiver. I have a couple extra R9mm receivers laying around, so I'm going to get this soldered up. For reference on soldering your receiver to this flight controller, in this little manual, there is a pinout for the flight controller, so you can kind of see how different receivers would be soldered up. So I'm just gonna go by this, I'll get it soldered up, and then we'll take this out for a flight test. All right, so I got the receiver all hooked up back here. I have it in some heat shrink, and I have it right above the flight controller and below this battery strap. So that's kind of holding it in place. You could take a zip tie and zip tie it to the top of the frame, or zip tie it to the bottom of the frame, but that's how I have mine in there. And then I have the antennas coming up through the back here. They have a little cutout in the TPU mount for the antennas, and they included these tubes. So I have the antennas going through here, and then back here we have the VTX antenna. So everything's all nice and secure. I'm using one of these battery straps. This is a battery strap that I had laying around from HGLRC, but they do include their own LiPo strap. It's a little bigger than this, so that's kind of why I went with this. They also have this rubber band that you could use. I don't fully trust rubber bands with LiPos, so I'm using this one. Speaking of the battery that I'm using in this flight that you're about to see is this iFlight Full Send 450 3S battery. So before we go fly, let's just see what it weighs. And this is with a receiver installed, 76 grams, and then with this battery, this is a 453S, you're looking at 115 grams. So I'm gonna attach this, get my goggles out, controller, and we'll go take this for a flight.